I am the Lonely Necron, and welcome to my basement. So, a couple days ago, I did a game with the Night Lords against the drukhari, where they did a hold the portal kind of thing. So, today we're going to do that same scenario, but with Necrons. So, got these 5 hills with a little bit of terrain on them. This portal that one group has to hold for 2 full rounds. Last game, the drukhari held it for 1 full round twice. So, I'm hoping they'll do better this game. So we're gonna go all Canoptek for the Necrons this time. We have a Canoptek spider with everything it can have. 3 9-man groupings, nine swarm groupings. Of scarabs, 2 3-man groups of wraiths with vicious claws and particle casters. So 725 points. So over here we have Tracy's drukhari. We have a succubus, 10 witches, 2 squads of 5 scourges, 10 Coblite warriors, an arena champion and 2 reavers, 2 incubi that have proved very successful at killing just about everything they go up against, the venom that will be carrying the incubi, and the talos, which still scares me even after all this time. So, her army is 725 points. I tried to match it mostly correctly. We'll see. So I'll set up deployments and we'll have a good time. Okay, so the drukhari roll won the roll off, so they chose to deploy on this hill over here. All the scourges, the witches, and the reavers arena champion on the hill. The Coblites, the succubus, the venom with the incubi, and the talos on the side here. So that put the Necrons directly across from them. So we have a hill that just kind of swarmed up with scarabs and a spider, with the wraiths just hanging out here on the side. So we'll start this off. Drukhari turn 1. Movement. It looks kind of like the drukhari just exploded outward from that hill. The scourges all advanced up here to start holding the portal. The reavers arena champion just kind of advanced off the hill. Coblites did the same. The witches did the same. Venom just moved up here in between these 2 hill areas, and the talos advanced up to here. There's only 1 unit in range of anything for shooting, so this unit of scourges is going to shoot at the closest unit of wraiths. Only 3 of the scourges were in range of the closest group of wraiths, and they managed to do a single point of damage. Nobody's close enough for charging, so that'll take us over to Necron turn 1, movement. Alright, so everything advanced. It always does. So the wraiths all moved up over here. Everything got off the hill. This unit of scarabs managed to advance onto the portal to challenge the scourges for control of the portal. But they're the only ones that made it. So no Catan, unfortunately. So that'll take us on to shooting. So after a, I don't know, kind of disappointing shooting round, the spider, the wraiths, and the wraiths managed to kill 4 scourges. So that'll take us up to the charge phase. There will be charges. There will be scarabs involved. It'll be a good time. Ah, my heater's on. Yay! So really it was just the 1 scarab swarm going into the leader here of the scourges, so go into the fight phase. It occurs to me that I probably should have fought during the charge phase and then other things, but the end result is the same. The scarabs did indeed murder that last scourge, so a contested portal, so nobody gets the pretty yellow die. So I'll take us on over to round 2, drukhari turn 2. The succubus has hopped up the hill to join the scourges. The witches advanced forward. The cobbler's just kind of hung out there. The Talos is making his way up the little alleyway here. The Venom came up over here to attack the crap out of these scarabs. And the Arena Champion Reaver grouping came over here onto this hill. So we'll go into Dark Eldar shooting. The Scourges shot at the Scarabs, doing a point of damage, 2 points of damage. The Venom shot at these Scourges, these Scarabs, doing a point of damage. And the Coblite Warriors killed a Wraith. So that'll take us to the charge phase for drukhari. Well, the Scourges tried to charge the Scarabs, but didn't get the right distance. The Succubus managed to charge the Scarabs, killed the Scarab, did a little bit of damage, and then got mostly destroyed herself for the experience. So we'll go into Necron turn 2. Coffee. No, not coffee. The Necrons on the hill have opted to stay in combat with the Succubus. This 2-man squad of Wraiths have decided to move forward to challenge the Warriors and the Witches. These Wraiths have just kind of refocused on the Reavers. These Scarabs and Spider just kind of moved up a little bit. And these Scarabs are looking at the Venom. So that'll take us on over to Necron shooting. So the Wraiths killed a Reaver. These Wraiths killed 2 Cobbleites. The Spider shot at the Reavers and failed to hit with anything. So we'll go into the charge phase. So these Wraiths charged the Reavers. These Wraiths multi-charged both the Witches and the Coblite Warriors. And these Scarabs charged the Venom. So we'll deal with all of that combat stuff, plus these things again. So the charge phase. These Wraiths did indeed kill these Reavers. The closer Wraith killed off 2 Cobbleites, and the farther Wraith killed off 3 of the Witches. So regular fight phase. And the Scarabs on the hill managed to kill off the Succubus. That puts us on up to drukhari turn 3. Still fighting for this hilltop movement. So the Scarabs have remained where they are. The Spider has hopped up onto the top of the hill. These Scarabs around the Incubi are just going to stay there. The Wraiths in combat are going to stay there. This other group of Scarabs moved up here, as did the Wraiths on the hill over here. So we'll go into Necron shooting. Well, the Spider tried to kill the Scourges and failed to hit any of them. The close Wraith killed a Coblite Warrior. The farther Wraith killed a Witch. And this group of Wraiths also killed a couple of Witches. So we'll go into Necron charge phase. The Scarabs on the hill charged the Scourges and managed to kill one of them. So regular fight phase. So these 2 Wraiths continue whittling down the Cobbleites and Witches, killing off 3 Cobbleites, but no Witches. The Witches did do a point of damage to the Scarab. These Scarabs over here killed an Incubi and lost a Scarab Swarm in return and did not reanimate it. So, yeah. So, still contested as we go into the drukhari turn. So the only thing that actually moved was the Talos, and it just moved up here to the top of the hill. So we'll go into drukhari shooting. The witches fired their pistols and did a point of damage to this wraith. Talos shot everything it had at the spider and it saved every wound roll. I'm starting to look at my Canoptek stuff with a different eye after this battle, I believe. I didn't really think I had a lot of melee Necrons, but apparently I do. On that note, we'll go into drukhari charges. Yeah, I don't actually see any. I mean, does the Talos want to charge the spider? Yeah, no, the Talos is pretty much going to have to charge the spider, so we're going to do that. The Talos did indeed charge the spider, survived the overwatch, managed to do a couple points of damage to him, and then saved completely against the return attack. So good job on the Talos. So then the regular fight phase. So at the end of the fight phase, the Comoised are all dead. And two of the not incubi, man. Well, two of the incubi did indeed die, but two of these witches died. The incubi killed a scarab unit and severely damaged another one. Nothing really happened over here, so that takes us back to the Necron turn. Everything's pretty much already in combat, so these wraiths hopped up here onto the hill to make it just super crowded. So we'll get into Necron shooting. So these wraiths shot at these scourges and they saved against all wounds. And these wraiths killed two more witches. There's not really enough room to charge those wraiths into anything, so I guess we're just gonna go into totally forgot about these scarabs. Man. Oh well. So we're not going to really charge these wraiths into anything, so we'll just go into the fight phase. These wraiths wiped out the remaining witches that were down here. The scarabs managed to kill a scourge. The scourges managed to kill a scarab. The Talos really messed up the spider, and the spider managed to not be able to do anything in return. And yeah, the scarabs were unable to kill the claybex, and the claybex still managed just to hurt them pretty badly. So go into drukhari turn. Probably won't be any movement. It doesn't look like anybody can shoot either, since they all have rifles. So it'll probably just be, yeah, a drukhari fight phase. It was a very short drukhari turn, but it was fruitful, I suppose. The claybex killed two scarabs, and then he himself was killed. The scourges didn't kill anything, but they also, none of them died. And the Talos killed the spider. So we'll go on to the Necron turn. They still have a few units that can actually move. Okay, well, the hill was kind of crowded before, but now it's really crowded. The surviving members from the incubi encounter have advanced up here to the top of the hill. The smaller group of wraiths have moved over closer to the Talos, while the remaining two from the witch's Kabbalite experience have popped up here. The scarabs I forgot about have moved over here to the bottom of the hill, where I will probably forget about them again. And yeah, so got a lot of pistols on the wraiths, so we'll go into shooting. So the group of two here failed to kill any scourges, and the group of three failed to kill a Talos. So we'll go into the charge phase. So these three wraiths managed to successfully charge the Talos, and the four scarabs have charged into this craziness that the scourges keep surviving. So deal with all the fighting. The fighting has been bitter and desperate. This squad of scarabs killed off the remaining scourges, leaving just the Solarite. And these wraiths did absolutely nothing to the Talos, but it did a little bit of damage to one of them in return. So that'll take us over to the drukhari turn, which will consist solely of these two fighting it out, trying to kill off these guys and keep on going. Alright, let's get down to it then. So the Talos once again managed to defend itself completely against all wounds. Did a little bit of damage to these wraiths. But the scarabs in the return fighting killed off the last scourge. So that'll take us to the Necron turn, where they're going to do some shooting. So all of the particle casters were shot at the Talos and only managed to do 1 point of damage. Okay, so the fight phase. Well, the Talos killed a wraith, but they did a lot of damage to him in return. So, yeah. Fight phase. It is with a sad face that I report that the Talos has been destroyed, leaving the Necrons as the winner of this particular hill fight. But the drukhari definitely held on really well this time, and they killed the spider. I didn't expect that to happen. I mean, granted, I guess I've only played the spider a couple times in games, but still. And the scarabs kind of did a lot better than I expected. I had always just thought that Praetorians and these new Scorpack destroyers would be the melee choices, but I'm thinking scarabs and wraiths from now on. Either way, if you're still watching this, I hope you had a good time, and I'll see you next time, tomorrow, something like that. Have a good day.